MAFEX Batman, number 126. Is this the best Batman that money can buy? Nice Hush logo on the side there, number 126. On the back of the box it shows the diorama that Batman comes with, and it shows some accessories in the bottom corner. Now be careful when you pull this one out of the box, because anything that's not taped in, like these bits here, they will fly out of the box when you lift the clamshell off. It does come with a clamshell that goes over the top of the figure that secures the figure inside. But once you pull the clamshell off, anything that's not taped in, if these things fall on the floor, there's a good chance that you might not get them back. Everything that's on display here is everything that he comes with. So this is the figure and all of the accessories that he does come with. You can see that he comes with absolutely loads of accessories here. So it's amazing how much they actually get inside these boxes. Okay, you've got loads of hands. You've got an extra head sculpt there. You've got hands that are holding a grapple hook gun, which you also get the grapple hook bits that actually fit in the front of the gun. Okay, there's a one that's yet to be fired, and you also get this one which has been fired, which has the long bit of wire on there. Now you get standard fist hands. I've got to say I love these sprues that these come on. So all of the hands are connected to these inside of the box. I do like that. Now you also get these hands here. Now these aren't your standard fist hands. It looks like he's holding maybe some batarangs within his fingers when he's going to just smash your teeth in wearing these. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be punched in the face with someone with a couple of batarangs clenched in their fist, that's for sure. Now on this side, you can see that he comes with a flight stand, and there's also a diorama piece there, so that's also crammed inside the box. Loads of accessories. The figure looks nice. Now, you do get this figure as well in blue. He comes in a blue version. And the blue version doesn't come with the diorama piece. What you actually get with the blue version is you get an unmasked head sculpt. So you get the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, which you don't get with this one. So that's the difference really between the two, despite the obvious being that the other one's blue, this one's black. I think it just comes down to what your preferred Batman is. There is a debate on which one the best figure is. I don't have the blue one to do a side-by-side comparison. I did try and buy him, but for some reason, as soon as these things go for sale, they just sell out. They sell out within minutes. I did put the blue one in the basket. I also put the black one in the basket, but when I went to check out, I was notified that one of the items that I'd put in there was out of stock, so I ended up just getting the black one. I haven't got the blue one. I'm still looking for the blue one, but whether I get him or not, I don't know, because they do sell out very fast. So here's the thing with this Batman figure. I'm not the biggest Batman collector in the world. I wouldn't even say I'm much of a Batman fan. But I did decide that I needed a Batman figure for the collection. I used to have loads of Batman figures when I was growing up. Loads of memories there. So when I look at Batman, a lot of that nostalgia comes back when I see figures like this. So I decided that I needed a Batman figure. I didn't know which Batman to go for. There's absolutely loads of competition out there. You've got MAFEX, obviously. You've got S.h.Figuarts Batman. You've got Mezco Batman. You've just got loads to choose from. Quality figures, you know. So when I was looking into Batman figures and which one to pick up, these ones kept popping up. People say that the MAFEX Batman figures are the best that you can get, especially this one. Everything I've seen about this was the best Batman figure that you can get, being this one or the blue one. There's the argument there again. It just comes down to which Batman is your Batman. When I grew up, a lot of the stuff was the black and grey Batman. Then he went completely black. But yeah, fantastic looking figure. But I went for this one just because I thought, you know, I want to add a Batman to my collection, and this is the one that I ended up with. Tried to buy the blue one. He sold out in minutes, so I didn't get that one, but I did get this one. So the features on this are, you know, they're phenomenal. It's no regrets whatsoever buying this figure. In fact, it's made us want to buy more. As I've explained, I'm not the biggest Batman collector. I feel like I just wanted one just to add into my display for that nostalgia effect for growing up and having all of the Batman figures when I grew up. I wanted to add one, and this one is just, you know, I see where people are coming from with this one. He's really nice. Now the thing is with MAFEX, you know, however you say it, they do have, I don't know, a track record of QC issues when it comes to the paint. That's just the things that I've seen online. I don't have, again, many MAFEX figures. I've had a few. Funny enough, I did have the comic book Batman that they released. But that one, I did end up selling that because when he arrived, on the logo on the chest, he had, I mean, that wasn't centered. So when it comes to a Batman figure, if the logo itself isn't centered and you've got paint mishaps there, it's the first thing that you see. You know, as soon as you look on the shelf, you see the Batman figure, you see the logo, and it was so off. I don't know how they managed to get the paint so off. I would think that when it comes to a Batman figure, that's one of those QC areas where you would think that the companies would look at, and if that's off, they would think, no, that needs either redoing, or we can't release that in looking like that, because they couldn't get it more off center if they tried. They really outdone themselves with that. So I was unhappy with that. And also on the face, where the mask connected to the face, you could see a lot of paint bleed in there. So the face itself on the comic book version, he had loads of paint, loads of paint issues. So this one, thankfully, the logo, you can see it's painted perfect. You know, they couldn't have painted this any better. There's no bleed whatsoever on this one. I do have a couple of, I don't know if the camera picks this up, there's a couple of marks just down here. But that's the only thing that I can report on this one. There's no other paint issues whatsoever on this one. On the other head sculpt that we've got, I will fetch that in and we'll have a look. There is a little bit of a bleed when it comes to the paint on the other head sculpt, but it's nothing major. So this is the alternative head sculpt that you get. So as you can see a slight bit of paint bleed there. But it's nothing too much. You know, for the most part, the details are there. No paint bleed in the mouth. It just seems to be where the mask meets the skin. There's a bit of bleed, but this isn't the face sculpt that I'll be displaying my figure with anyway, so that doesn't bother us too much. But it's always the same. I feel when you get these figures, you know, if there's going to be a QC issue with the paint, you know, sod's law says that it's going to be either on the face or on the logo. But yeah, they're the only issues that I can report with this one. When it comes to the paint, the QC issues with the paint, there's nothing with this one other than that. But that's nothing at all to complain about. While we've got him here, if we just move on to some articulation, we'll have a look at how he moves and how his joints work. So first of all, the cape, it's wired, okay? So when you get these wires in the cape, it just allows you to get the cape right up there, look at. Oh, there goes his hand. Look at that. That just looks great. You know, if you're a Batman fan or an action figure fan and you want a Batman for your collection, having the wings span out like that, that's impressive. I mean, displaying them on a shelf like this, you're probably not going to get much else on the shelf, you know, especially with, you know, his wings spread out like that. It just looks so good. It creates such a nice silhouette. You know, I'm sure we're all familiar with just that silhouette in itself when he's got his wings spun out. That's the thing with this figure, just, you know, looking at him like this and the things that you can do, it's simple. It's a simple form, but it makes me want to buy more Batman. It makes me want to buy more MAFEX. Now, again, I don't have many MAFEX figures, but this alone makes me want to buy more Batman figures, more comic book figures from MAFEX, and they've literally hit the nail on the head with this one. So that's the wingspan, that's the wired cape. We'll leave the wings up there like that just so I can get into the articulation. Double jointed elbows. Now his shoulders, they do go right up there and you can hide them underneath the cape. As you've seen, like he's holding the cape out. He's able to do a very, very impressive ab crunch there. He has a joint there where his chest connects to his torso, but also, you probably can't see, but underneath the belt there is another joint there for the ab crunch. So he has like a double torso crunch there. You can't do the full splits, but I don't think Batman can do the splits. I don't think it's something that he's ever needed to do. No issues there. Double joint in the knees. There's no angle rocker on this one, so sometimes when you get the angle rocker, it allows you to spread the legs a little bit. But spread the legs and get a bit of a balance on there. But this figure itself doesn't suffer from balance issues. I don't think there's anything that you can't do with this that you wouldn't see Batman do. You wouldn't put him in a pose or in a position that Batman wouldn't normally do, and he would look a little bit strange doing. But yeah, there's nothing that this figure can't do that you wouldn't expect a Batman figure to do. Even covering him up with the cape. That wired cape is so dynamic. It adds such a dynamic effect to this figure. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Now he can sit down also, so in his hips do allow him to sit down. Just sit him on the floor down there for a minute. Now this obviously works well if you plan on putting him inside of a Batmobile, or you've got a bat cycle to sit him on. You know, you could sit on a bat cycle very well. I can see why people like these MAFEX figures so much. They're very nice to handle. They feel nice in your hand. So some figures that you buy, depending on the plastics that they use, some just don't feel as nice as others. But this one feels very nice to hold. It feels very nice to pose and move around. Very nice to play with. I probably wouldn't advise giving them to a young child to play with. Not to say that, you know, he's brittle, or not to say that he feels like he would break very easy, but I think for what you pay for these, this one cost me over £100, and I was trying to buy two. I was trying to buy this one, and I was trying to buy the blue one, both running about the same price. But yeah, you wouldn't give one of these to a young child, but as an adult collector, and for somebody who, like myself, I like to get them down off the shelf, I like to pose them around, I like to, you know, put them in different positions that you would expect to put them in. He feels very nice to move, he feels very nice to hold, and with all the accessories that he comes with, you're not going to get bored of playing with this one. So this is one of the extra hands that he comes with. He's already holding the gun, the grapple hook gun. That's all sculpted in there, so that's not something that's going to fall out. You do get the grapple hook accessories that just pop inside of the gun, just like that. And you get the fired version, which is on the long wire. This is one of those accessories, like the cape, when you have the long wingspan out. This is one of those where I don't know how you would display them like this on your shelf. Displaying them like this, you're probably not going to get all that much next to him, because again, it takes up a lot of space. Maybe you could have him firing that at the back of Joker's head or something. You know, that would hurt pretty much, but yeah, it looks good. Nice accessory to include. Now, if you want to change out the heads, what I will say is just be a bit careful with this. This is on a double ball joint inside of the neck, so the neck itself is pegged into the chest, into the torso, and then the neck also has a peg that plugs into the head. So when you pull, sometimes if you don't quite get it right, the neck might actually come off as well. Luckily with this one, the neck stayed in place, but you can actually pull the neck out. So yeah, so just be careful when you're pulling on that. The neck might actually come out. Not a major issue, not something that's going to break the figure, but as you're trying to replace the heads, sometimes the neck can pop out as well. Now what you want to do is take the next head and you just want to apply a bit of pressure onto the peg. Okay, and it'll sit inside there. Here's Batman with his mistaken identity. He thinks he's Wolverine. He's holding his batarangs within his fist and he's about to do somebody some serious harm. And there he is, giving Joker a well-deserved smack in the teeth. Holding the batarang between his fists for maximum damage. Just a devastating left hook right to the face. Now the main accessory that this figure comes with is the Gotham City diorama piece. So this is a gargoyle that you usually find sitting over the edge of buildings, Gothic buildings. And this looks to be an eagle's head. I love when figures include accessories like this. Whether you plan on using them or not, they're always nice to have things like this when they include things like this. To me, it shows that the company itself, when they're putting these figures out, they've put some thought behind them. You know, you get things like this and it allows for so many display options. I mean, there's loads of amazing diorama builders out there that create things like this, but when you get one inside the box as part of the accessories, I just feel like it just adds so much to the figure. Now this isn't the largest diorama piece that I've gotten with an action figure. That would be, again, along the lines of the gargoyles, that would be this one, which is just, I mean, that's ridiculously big. Look at the size of that. This here is the diorama piece that comes with Sentinel Spider-Man. But again, the comparison between the two, this isn't something that I could display. I couldn't put this on my shelf. That's ridiculously large. But this came with the special edition release of Sentinel Spider-Man. I love it when they include stuff like this. Not that I could use this, there's no way I could put this on a display. But again, I love that they include that. Batman would look great on this as well. You could use that for Batman. But yeah. And here he is standing on this display piece. If you wanted to stand him on here, he does come with a flight stand that plugs in the bottom, right here. And it has a nice waist clip that you attach around the waist and that will hold him in place. Now you can see I've gave Batman this batarang to hold. That's with one of his weapon holding hands. And he holds that very nicely as he stands on the rooftops, picking his victim. He's about to throw the batarang at the back of somebody's head, picking out some formidable foe as Batman works from the shadows. Here's Batman about to take flight off the rooftops. I mean, look at this. These things they add so much fun to displays and, you know, what you can do with these figures. I'd like to display them like this on my shelf, but I haven't got the room. Look at that. If you're considering picking up this Batman and you're wondering what he stands like next to other figures that you might have, I've gotten a couple here to do a size comparison. So first of all, This is the Hush Joker, part of the same line as this Batman. This is the reissue of MAFEX Robocop. This is Figma HK416. And this is Sentinel Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man. Right, what I will say at this point is, although there's a lot of debate on which the best Batman figure is that you can pick up, in my opinion, there's absolutely no debate when it comes to the best Spider-Man figure that you can pick up, and that would be this one, the Sentinel Spider-Man. This figure is absolutely phenomenal. Now, there's no faults whatsoever. I don't have a bad thing to say about this figure. Any position that you want to put him in, any pose that Spider-Man does, this one has no issues doing that. The paintwork is flawless. If you're thinking about picking up a Spider-Man figure, there's a lot of options out there. Again, you've got MAFEX, you've got S.h.Figuarts, you've got Mezco, all doing fantastic figures, but when you compare them to this one, to me there's no competition. If you're looking for a Spider-Man figure, absolutely get this one. Right, well that's going to do it for this one. Is this the best Batman figure that you can buy? Let me know if there's any other recommendations. You know, what's your favourite Batman figure out there? For me, what I will say with this, what MAFEX have actually done here, they've actually made somebody like me, who's not a Batman fan, I'm not a huge Batman collector, but what they've done with this figure is they've actually made me want to buy more of their MAFEX Batman figures. I certainly want to buy a lot more MAFEX figures, and that's based upon this one. I don't have many. I've got this MAFEX Batman, I've got the MAFEX Robocop, and I've also got the Hush Joker. But what this figure's made me want is to buy a lot more. So he looks phenomenal. When he's stood on your shelf, he looks really good, but when I've gotten him down off the shelf just to do this review alone, moving him around and posing him, and with the accessories that he comes with, I can see why people would say that this is the best Batman figure that you can buy. So for me, I'm over the moon with this. I couldn't be happier with this figure on my shelf. But let me know if there's any other recommendations. I do want to pick up some more. I've been looking at the Dark Knight Returns Batman that they've announced. That's still up for pre-order on some sites. It's sold out mostly everywhere else. But there's a few sites that I've found that still has him on there. Whether he'll stay on there for long, I don't know. But what I will be doing, absolutely, I'll be looking for the blue one. I'm going to go and try and find the blue one of this figure, just to have him. Because with this one, I couldn't be happier with this. This is a fantastic release. It's made me want to buy more Batman figures. It's made me want to buy more MAFEX. So yeah, this one, absolutely, I would say pick this one up if you don't have him already. Is he the best Batman figure? I don't know. But again, I don't have any other Batman figures to compare him to. Let me know if there's any more recommendations, and I'll certainly have a look. Again, thanks for watching this one. I appreciate it.